So yeah, this is our Q&A. We're going to go over some charts at the start just to show you guys a few things. But before I start, I just want to know if anyone has any questions at any time, just ask the question, interrupt me and ask the question, or just write the question inside of the chat box, and either me or Adam or Jacob will read out the question and we'll go over that. Okay. So what I'm going to do to start, I gave out a Euro NZD trade. Now this was given out yesterday. Okay. What I'm going to do is just mute everyone, and whoever has a question, they can just take themselves off of mute. Someone's eating crisps. Adam and Jay, keep yourself unmuted, yeah? Unmuted. So yeah, so in regards to Euro NZD, we had a really nice trade from here, guys. This was the institutional candle that I was playing off of. Majority of you guys probably didn't catch the trade because you probably didn't maybe understand the setup, which is even more the reason why you guys should come on our mentoring program. But if you did understand the setup and you took the trade, you guys would have really got paid, man. This is why we say every day is money day. From here, the stop loss would have had to have been beneath this institutional candle. Okay, let's just like it or not. The stop loss would have had to be in here. So it is a high risk trade. Okay, but as we can see, the upside is phenomenal. Now, in regards to how I had this trade set up, I only went for 50% of this candle because I was looking to see if price went lower than that, I would have had another entry, but price didn't. Price literally came to the top. It gave us, it didn't really give us any drawdown, guys. It gave me, I don't know, how much is that? It gave us 10 pips. Okay, 10 pip drawdown, and he's still being profit today. So it is definitely important to pay attention to our charts channel, because a lot of traders like to actually see the charts. They like to see what's going on. They like to actually see price, you know, see what we're saying, see it in better detail. So that's why we're providing you guys with the charts. Here was the chart here. This is exactly what we was looking for. Price came down into here, played off, and we went away. So in regards to that, sorry, was someone going to say something? Cool, no worries. So in regards to that, I mean, look, we just released a podcast today. We'll put the link in the podcast channel in the Discord. If you guys can't see all of these things here on your channel, I'll send a link back in. Just let me know, and I'll send another link so you guys can get access to everything. But the link will be in the Discord. It's actually here now already. So be sure to check out the update, because it's just touching upon everything that's currently happened with the corona and how actually markets are responding from that. So I'm going to do something very different today. And Adam,
yeah,
pick someone at random. Let's pick on someone.
Shaq.
Shaq, perfect.
Yo, bro.
Okay, now Shaq, tell me, in regards to what you've been trading this week, or what you'd like to trade, what pair would you say?
US 30.
US 30. Okay, let's go over to US 30. Okay, now for US 30, what's your thoughts on that? What are you looking at? Are you looking at short? Are you thinking it's going to continue to go lower? You think it's going to go higher?
Well, I was pretty much trading it today. I saw it going down lower today. It went down to like 19,000. I don't know if that's how you say it.
That's correct. Came lower.
I think it's going to continue to go down lower, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's going to go down lower still.
Yeah. I've got an area here that I'm playing off of, which is 18,621. But bearing in mind, I would like to see price kind of turn around from this area so that we could maybe see a continuation downwards, or price could just react from here. But if I'm honest with you, with the price action being so strong, being so heavily bearish, we have to favor price coming down as low as possible, really. There isn't really much good news in the US economy, so we do have to consider prices coming lower. However, and I'll tell you this, guys, if you're new or if you've been trading for a while, you'll understand what I'm saying. You can't jump on a ship that's already moving. So for instance, if you're seeing price coming down here, you do not want to be getting into the trade midway through this candle or even at the end of this candle, okay? Because like what you can see here, naturally, there's always going to be a pullback. Who's blowing their nose?
Oh shit. That's not. Stay away.
Hey, Corona, you know. Listen, stay over there, bro. Guys out here blowing his nose, you know, hardcore.
No cap.
No cap, that's right. But yeah, so what we're always looking at is the pullback. Okay, when you wait for the pullback, you'll often find that pullback is always more beneficial, far much more greater in regards to the reward it gives you. So, Shaq, to answer your question about US 30, I personally believe it's going to come down lower. But where price is at the moment, the only way you could possibly get into this trade is if price comes back up here. The reason why I say up here, we want to see price take out these equal highs. If we go into a smaller time frame, price has created nice areas of liquidity here and above here. So unless we see price really come up and take out these equal highs, we shouldn't be gambling on price continuing to come lower, okay? Because unfortunately, sometimes you miss a train. And if you miss that train, I mean, if you ran to the train station and you missed the train, you wouldn't try jump on the tracks and jump on the train. I mean, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. So basically you're saying US 30 needs to go up to at least 20,000 before we start entering the trade and shorting it again.
Yeah, above 20,000, really. I mean, if it can come up above 2,500, that'd be really nice. But this is a 15-minute time frame, okay? If we go back to the hour, above 20,000, 20,700 would be really nice. But we also had an area marked up for imbalance. For those of you who don't know what imbalance is, Adam's going to go over that a bit later on. But here's an area of imbalance. Okay, so price could potentially come up here because it's made a new low. It could come up to the imbalance area, take some of it out and come down. But the fundamental factors are really kicking in right now, which is that economically, the US economy isn't doing well. It's very hard to see them recuperating so much when things are going worse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not sure who's making the noise, but try to refrain, please. But yeah, Jacob.
Yo.
Pick someone else, bro. Don't pick the guy who's blowing his nose.
Yeah, no, that's Corona stuff.
I mean, I don't even know who was blowing their nose, but let's see. Okay, let's
go with me.
Nay. Perfect. Nay, you've been selected.
Yeah, great.
Tell me how.
That sound too disappointed.
How long you been trading, Nay?
Not long. I'm literally a newbie. Like, literally, I've just been watching your videos and stuff, and like trying to catch on before I actually get in there.
Okay. How are you finding the videos?
They're informative. I think I can learn a bit more. I've been watching quite a variety of videos. Like right now, they keep touching on the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar, like how it's going down. So I want to look at that really.
Sure. Okay. So did you say the Aussie dollar and the Kiwi dollar? Yeah.
The Aussie dollar and is it the New Zealand dollar?
Yeah, you was right.
Yeah.
I think you said so. Do you know why they call the Aussie? Sorry, the New Zealand Kiwi?
Nope.
Okay, neither do I. I thought you might know.
Oh, I thought you was gonna tell me.
Now, I personally believe it's because Kiwis come from New Zealand.
Oh,
I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
that makes sense. Yeah, that does
their
make sense.
Yeah. But so you said Aussie dollar, yeah? Cool. Let's have a butcher's. So, what's your thoughts on this? Just by looking at the chart, what do you personally see?
It looks like it keeps decreasing.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you can see?
It goes up, it goes down, but it seems like it's going more and more down now.
Yeah. So, a few things we would always do, right? When we're seeing price coming so low, is we want to go to a higher time frame just to actually see how low price is looking to go, how low price has been before. Is price potentially reacting off of an area? Now, from a weekly time frame, we can actually see, right? This chart is from 2002. That's the earliest the data goes back. So we can see back in 2002, that's 18 years ago, is when price was this low. That's pretty low.
Yeah.
That's pretty low. So now what we want to see is, will price react off of this area? Will price maybe come a bit lower and react off of areas here? But the most important thing is to make sure that we can use the higher time frame to guide us in understanding where price is trying to go. Because if we look at it from a 15-minute time frame, we're just going to see, oh my gosh, it's coming down, man. I'm just going to get into it. It's coming down. But going back to the weekly time frame, we can see actually price might have made the move that it wanted to make, and actually it might reverse off of this area. So always use the higher time frame. That's always the best thing to do. But in regards to the Aussie dollar, I do want to see it come up, man. It's been down for so long, but with the coronavirus, it's heavily affecting Australia. The first countries it was really to affect outside of China was Australia and New Zealand, because they have the most trade deals with China. So Australia have a lot of imports and exports. So with all of that being put on hold, their economy isn't really making much money. In other words, the only good thing about the Australian dollar is the majority of the largest gold mines in the world are situated in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hear that.
So who's drawing on my screen? Come on, man. Accident?
Yeah.
No worries. Please remove. But yeah, so we should really look to see a turnaround on this, but we can't predict the future. We can just monitor the pair, see what happens, see what price action is showing us. The daily chart. So you've seen this blue line. I've had this for quite some time, so I wanted to see how price reacts from it. On a 4-hour, we can see once this candle closes, this will give us a better indication to, has price come down, done what it's needed to do, and now going to turn around or not. But we're in the early stages of this corona stuff, man. This is even phase 1. Do you like sci-fi?
Early, like, how long do you think it's gonna last?
I don't know, but if you guys like sci-fi, if you watch apocalyptic shows, you'll know this is early doors. Yeah, very early. So, maybe it could go in the next month, but put it this way, the Italian market, they've closed, they've put a ban on people being able to short their markets for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
For 3 months?
3 months, bro.
I've seen the one in France as well, isn't it?
Yeah, for 30 days. So it's just like, if things are going to be better, why are they closing for 3 months?
Yeah, it doesn't give us a clue of what's really going on.
It's a long time. So, so if you guys don't watch any sci-fi or apocalyptic shows, like, you know what to watch now, trust me. Cool.
Well, someone said, as traders, what's important things do we need to know about the coronavirus and its effect on the market? Would like to hear your opinion on the USD, pound, New Zealand dollar, and yen.
Okay, so say that again. Say the first part again. It sounds like a good question.
Things do we need to know about the coronavirus and its effect on the market?
Okay, so the major thing that we need to know about the coronavirus is that with this being a global pandemic, it's stopping a lot of countries from being able to conduct their business. So, for instance, right, if everyone lives in a house right now, okay, I'm almost 1,000,000% sure you will have something in your house from China. Okay, so that should show you that products from China that are being manufactured in China are coming all the way to London, to UK, to wherever you guys are right now. So right now, that's not happening. There's no more products from China coming to UK. Just like how there'll be no more products from China going to anywhere else, vice versa. No products from UK going to anywhere else. So when businesses aren't able to produce in the mass quantities that they produce in, they're not able to make their money in mass amounts. Okay, if I'm supplying, what apples to 1,000 people, and now I can only supply to 2 people, my financial income is going to change very quickly, and that's what's happening at the moment. Due to the virus, a lot of business is being put on hold, which means economies can't grow. And when you've got, I mean, for example, in UK we've got 66 million people. Yeah, when you've got 66 million people all hungry, okay, and not working, all they're going to do is really eat food. There's nothing else to do. Eventually the food's going to run out. Now, as you guys should all know, if you look at your vegetables in the supermarkets, just have a look next time you go to the supermarket. Have a look where your broccoli is from or your cucumbers from. You'll find most of these foods come from Europe. So again, if nothing can be imported and exported, this is where a lot of business is being lost. And it also means now a lot of things are being put on hold, and people are going to starve, unfortunately, because 66 million people, there's not 66 million cucumbers. I'll tell you that for free.
I had a conversation earlier with a friend, and he's talking about this is like an excuse to reset the economy.
Yeah.
To bring everything back to normal. What is that noise?
Yeah, there's a weird noise.
Mute all those.
No,
Bro, dude, it's your headset again, bro.
I think it might be me. Sorry, guys. It's not the... Cool. What was the other part of the question, bro?
Just the opinion on the US dollar, the pound, the New Zealand dollar, and the yen.
What's your opinion on it?
Well, again, things are in turmoil. Things are heading down. What Mel just said, it's like, I believe it's heading into a recession. So it's just catching this big move. It's funny how they're, as he says, closing off, being able to enter a sell, enter a short. So yeah, we're just watching for things like that, really.
Yeah. What about EJ? What's your opinions on the dollar and the pound? Dollar in particular.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to gauge right now, to be honest, because as we were talking on our podcast, it's just uncertainty around the world. So if you're asking me my bias or my sentiment, kind of got to get over the situation first to really have a real bias of what it could mean, because it's not just one or two governments that are like struggling. Everyone around the world is struggling to find solutions to contain this virus. Until this is over with, it's difficult. Yeah, I think everything's just gonna keep selling.
Yeah, for sure. Let's pick one more person.
For new traders, this is a tough time. Yeah, this is the time, really, bro, to like,
what is that?
Work on your strategy. Backtest your strategy some more. Do more education-based stuff. Like, you don't need to actively be in a trade to, like, everyone has that urge to want to be in a trade or do whatever. If the setups are they're not showing, you gotta wait, man. So yeah, my advice would be to just do some more educational type stuff instead of actually trying to practically risk money in a market that's uncertain, because I don't know, or we don't know what's really unfolding yet. You just gotta wait for it.
As Vel's showing you lot now, there's a lot of useful things on the website where you can find out about what these news events actually do. Have a read through them, check it out.
Bosco.
Yeah.
You got noise in the background, bro.
Not really.
Okay. No worries. That's cool. Cool.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry. On the website, where on the website does it talk about how news events impact the market?
So if you go to the fundamental definitions underneath Education Academy, you will come to this page here, and it will just give you the different breakdowns. So you've got bank interest rates,
Okay.
non-farm payrolls, gross domestic product. Yeah. Okay. What we are going to do, so in regards to, really breaking down and keep giving you guys an update, that's where our what's the word called? I don't want to say posts, I'd say articles. That's where articles come into play. If you guys scroll to the bottom, our latest news on our blog, you'll see that we provide updates. I mean, we've got another blog coming out tomorrow, so you guys stay tuned to that. But we do try to give you guys a good in-depth, transparent understanding of what's going on, what it will mean to you, the investor, primarily. Yeah. And if you ever see this guy in person, call him Boris the Bullet Dodger. Okay. What a joker. But yeah, pick on someone else, Ads.
Pastor Pips.
Here he is. Pastor, It's not
Pastor, whatever. Pastor, whatever.
Pastor.
Pastor Pips.
Pastor Pips, he's going to come with 100 questions. Where are you at, Pastor?
Is he with us? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Pastor?
Pastor.
He's probably praying for us. He's got a 5-second slot. Pastor, you there? Okay, we're going to move on to the next. You mind?
Yeah.
Is it? That's crazy. Well, let me come off the mic. Pick someone else. Random.
Albie's new.
Albie, there you go. Albie, jump in the hot seat, sir.
Yo.
Yeah. Yes, my guy. So tell me, Albie, I know you said you're very new to the markets.
Yeah.
What's the main thing if you could pick anything, right, in terms of understanding in the Forex industry, what would it be?
I'm not sure. Wait.
It can be anything small. It doesn't have to be something major. Anything. What's one thing that you want to understand? What's one thing you want to take away from this call today?
So you see the charts, innit? So, like, do you know when the charts are gonna rise and when they're gonna fall?
I would say yes and no. Okay, we train ourselves to understand how price works, how price moves, and where smart money concepts come into play. So, for instance, this move. Let's go on another pair. Excuse me. Let's go to Euro NZD, right? Only simply because I gave out the buy for this.
Well, sort your mic out now. It's too loud.
Is it? I don't know why. Let me come off the mic. Come off. Someone answer his question.
I didn't hear what you said. Say that again.
Also, do you know when the charts are gonna rise and when they're gonna fall?
Do we know when they're gonna rise and when we're gonna fall?
Like,
I have a rough idea. You want to get yourself.
Nah, we have areas we're interested to play off.
yeah.
Like we can only. It's a game of probables at the end of the day. You can only form a case for a high probable trade. You can't. There's no one's. Like you'll never get 100% certainty in a market, bro.
Yeah, I understand.
You have to have your own confirmations which you stick by, and you only enter once you have enough confirmations. You know, like a checklist. You have to have a checklist. So it's just like, yeah, like if I've got 5 things on my checklist. If I get 3 of the 5 things checked off, I'll take the trade.
Okay.
Let me show one. Let me show a confluence. Okay, Albie, can you see my screen, right? Everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
So I guess what the guys are trying to say is the word I'm going to use is reason. You want to have a reason to enter the market. Okay, you don't want to just be entering not knowing, like you say, is it going up, is it going down? So another thing we use is called imbalance. Now, I don't know if everyone knows about this or has seen it, but I'm just going to give you a rough idea of what we're actually looking at and how it works. Now, in this area here, right, the market has created a gap. There is an imbalance in the area, okay? Now, one thing we know, they have to come back and fill these gaps. It's a bit like the algorithm of a computer. The computer is set out to come back and fill these gaps.
Yeah.
So let's just see how they play out. So we get one here, and you'll notice, in a minute. Okay, sorry, here's the one below, okay? So we have two areas of imbalance. Now, how do we get imbalance? It's the 3 candle play, okay? So just to give you a rough idea, can you see how from this wick here, this area to here, that one there, the 3rd candle, so we got 1, 2, and 3. Can you see how there's now like a gap in the market?
Yeah.
There's like a hole here, okay? And again, similar area up here. So let's just see how these areas play out, okay? And again, as we're going through the chart, you're going to see areas that are created with imbalance. So again, just eventually, there is another one coming, guys. Again, patience, long time.
Yeah.
Eventually, where is it? Okay, so just remember these areas here, okay? I want you to watch how price plays off them. So you see that first one we looked at? You see how it came down and filled the whole area and then started to turn around? Good opportunity for a buy. Again, we have a target when we enter this trade because there's imbalance created here. And again, you can see how it fills that one and turns around, yeah? Just don't forget this one up here, okay? There's also been an imbalance left up here. So just watching how price plays through these areas. Okay, this is a reason to get into a trade. This is a confluence, something you want to mark out, get to know on your charts. Again, don't forget that one up there. So again, just watch, see that? See how it filled this area up here? And then we get a turnaround. Now, don't forget this long one down the bottom, okay? This is interesting. See that? See how it came and tapped that area? And then turned around? This is imbalance, okay? This is just something we use to enter the market, something that gives you an extra reason, an extra confidence. And as you can see, there's some very profitable situations once you understand these methods. So again, keep listening to the guys, whoever you're learning with. And I promise you guys, you're going to start to see things like this in the charts. You're going to start to see profitable setups, things that are, you know, look at these moves. I mean, we'll just talk about this one here. I mean, on entry, if you was to buy in this area, you know, you're almost 300 pips up within a couple hours, 250 pips up in a couple of hours. If you then hold the trade and understand that being able to hold it for maybe 2 weeks almost, 600 pips. Now, this might not make any sense to you, Albie, at the moment because you're new, but that's a big trade. That's, you know, with the right lot size, that can be a lot of money. And again, just understanding these little methods. Okay, anyone got any questions on this? Anything they want to know? What would you do, Ad? How do you know about that? Any questions on this area?
I'm not gonna lie, this might sound dumb, but I still don't understand how you're identifying the imbalance points. Like,
cool,
don't really
perfect.
care.
All right, cool. So I want you to think of an imbalance area, right, as sellers never got the chance to become sellers. Okay, so this is what happened. They shoot the market through this area. Now, let me zoom right in for you. I'll fill the box out here. So can you see from this wick here, this little blue candle?
Yeah.
Can you see the top of it?
Yeah.
Right. That's where the area starts. So now the market shoots through, giving no chance for sellers to become sellers. And this is where we get to. Can you see how there's now a hole in the market that hasn't been filled, that needs to, as you see what happens later on? Do you see how I marked that out?
Yeah, because it shot up really high, and then
it's just
you got it at the
gap.
bottom of one wick. Yeah.
There's also a small area here. There's also a very small area just here. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just how you start to identify these areas, and then watch what happens. Just mark them out. See how price comes back to that area. See what happens. Simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Any other questions on imbalance?
Would you say that they're very similar to key zones?
Very similar to key zones. They are a key zone. They're one of our reasons. So, for example, let's say you can see imbalance, and then a bit about what Cavell was talking about with the candle. Imagine you have an imbalance area, but then there's also a different play in that area, something like a lit candle or whatever. Now you've got two reasons. So it's about building up your reason. It's like being a detective. To catch the suspect, you need to have a watertight case. We're trying to have a watertight case.
Okay. Would you wait for like a retest of that?
Yeah. So what it is, right? You want to see. Sorry.
Sorry. Go on.
So what it is, you just want to see how it reacts in the area. So as you can see, as we go through this chart and looking at these areas. Now, again, you might not understand how I've seen this on this time frame. If I go to the daily, can you see how it's a lot clearer on the daily, but it wasn't on the 4-hour time frame? Everyone see
like a top-down analysis type of.
There you go. Yeah. So it's just being able to know what areas they've done this. Okay, they've left the hole, as I would call it. But again, just watching. So you're watching price up here. Price is up in this area. You're just going to watch this area. You want to see it filled. So you're looking at maybe a buy entry low near the 125 area. And as you can see, eventually, there's your entry. And a nice, just a simple move to the upside. I think it's 400 pips, 500 pips, I think. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Imbalance. Anyone got any other questions on that?
Yeah, no. So just to add to what Adam has been saying, when we do top-down analysis, we don't just enter off of one single time frame. We have to entail multiple time frames into the analysis because each analysis is connected to each other. So like, I'm not sure if you guys have heard the term fractal patterns before. Has anyone heard that term?
No.
Okay, cool. So what a fractal pattern is that each pattern, even the 1 minute time frame, the 5 minute time frame, the 15 minute, they all intertwine into the bigger time frames anyway. So when you have a setup which is on the 4 hour, or you have a setup which is from the daily, or whatever it may be that you're analyzing on, whatever the price action is doing on the 5 minute or the 15 minute, the time frames that we like to look on to gain our entry, it all intertwines. So like, if you've got a bullish setup and you're looking for buys, so to speak, and then price does a retracement into your area on a smaller time frame, that smaller time frame in one phase would have to be bearish in order to get a retracement. So then when it goes to your zone and becomes, you start to see a reversal in terms of price action, you'll understand that the reversal is it getting back into bullish momentum, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so like the corrective pattern that you would need for like the retest.
Whatever you think whatever your buy side patterns are, or whatever they may be, it's just getting back into the same higher time frame premise. So if the move is bullish, when it gets into your area of retracement, it has to then turn bullish too.
Wait, Jay, share your screen, bro.
Show what you mean by bullish and bearish.
I can share my screen. One example I could give, I gave this gold setup today. So gold, it's actually played off this candle. I'm not sure if you guys saw this in the chart this morning. So what we was waiting for, like I said, it's a game of probables. There's never going to be a time where you know for certain this is what's going to happen, okay? But you build a case, right? So the main reason I thought we would get a reaction off of this zone or off of this candle in particular was because of the previous day's bullish momentum, okay? So when we had this bullish momentum, it all initiated from this down candle here. So once I had seen that, I knew, okay, cool. They are going to come back to this area. And even if it doesn't go above here, you should still get a reaction of some sort. And it's a good enough reaction to make money. So what we then do is we then go on to the smaller time frames, and we had alerts and stuff like that. And as you can see on the smaller time frame, it's going to look a lot more, where there's going to be a lot more candles. There's going to be a lot more data, which adds into that 2-hour candle that we was actually looking at. But what you have to understand is this whole zone, like when we get into this area, it's playing off of into that 2-hour candle. So all I now want to know is that, are we getting any type of bullish momentum, right? So then if this candle was printed here, and then this candle was printed here, if you go onto the 1-hour time frame, that's 10 minutes worth of data, okay? And within that 10 minutes worth of data, you're going to see a lot more. So let me just try and mark this candle and then show you. Cool, so you would have got 5 minutes here. So for me personally, right, I wouldn't have accepted the fact that it's turned bullish, honestly, until I saw this candle up here. So I would have had to have seen it beat these highs here and then close up here. That for me is showing signs of bullish momentum. And as you can tell as well, if you go from the bottom of this point to the top of this point, it's over 200 pips. So for the market to move 200 pips, you have to realize a big entity or a large institution has just got into the market. So it's a good sign of the candle and the area that you was playing off, right, was correct. So what we was waiting on this morning was we had our fib like this, okay? We had a fib from the low to the high it created, right? It's within our kill zone areas. So when we now know that it's within the kill zone areas, the only thing that you might get a bit muddled with is your actual entry. So then you start to build cases like as to what Adam was saying, right? So if I was to rewind the market, okay, you'd think, okay, where am I really going to play off? Am I going to play off the top candle, the bottom, the middle candle, or this last candle? Then you say to yourself, what other reasons does it have to come to this area? Then you start to notice things like imbalance. There's an imbalance there, right? Okay, let me do it blue for you. Okay, so as Adam was explaining, from this point here to this point here, there's a gap. Do you not see that?
Yeah.
Put a 2 in the chat if you see that.
Pure twos, pure twos, pure twos. Pastor.
Cool. All right, so you lot are getting it, man. Because if you're not getting it, you know, you need to, don't be afraid to ask the question again if you don't understand, you know. But like I said, so you then have to say to yourself, right, it has a reason to come and fill this imbalance before having a reaction. And then if I fast forward what we now saw, boom, comes in, you see how it was black, and then straight away it went to this doji candle. Did you guys see that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's showing you straight away, as soon as the imbalance is filled, a big entity's just got in, because it's telling you straight away that they pushed it down. As you can see, it was black at one stage, pushed it down, and then it rose minimum 132 pips. Okay, so it's showing you straight away, all right, cool, that was my time to get in. So
Yeah, that was.
Sorry, what was that? Oh, I thought someone said something. Okay, cool. What you need to understand is, right, you're going to see, when you're gaining your entries, right, you're going to see price pushing down. Let me do it a different color. Red. You're going to see price at one stage, it's going to be a real bullish candle, okay? It's going to be really, really volume, big body candle. That's what's going to make you think twice about entering. But you can't, because at the end of the day, it's a game of probables. And when you get to the level we're at, you understand that this is all the algorithm. Everything's computerized. So they're only pushing it down here in order to fill this gap in the first place. So once you understand that, you understand that, okay, this, you know, I've had 3 confirmations, like I was telling you guys, that I can now enter this trade from, right? We had the overall candle that we wanted to play from. We had a Fibonacci level which met our criteria, excuse me, and we had an imbalance on the 1 hour, which needed to be filled. So 3 out of my 5 confirmations would have been met. Does that make sense? So it's just building a case for why you would want to enter. Okay, and that's what we do. Like, if it doesn't make sense or price action isn't showing, so if we was to be on the smaller time frames again, right? And let me just cut this off. And say price was floating in this zone, but it was doing stuff like this, okay, where it was going like this. If there's no real push up, it's showing me that there's no smart money, there's no big bank, no big institution is getting behind the move. If I don't get a push up, then where's the, you want to wait for the footprint. You need to wait for them to show you, okay, cool, we're entering. So if we get sideways movement, I might anticipate it to keep going down, because if they're trying to play off of this zone, they're not going to stick around here long. Okay, they're going to get in. They're not going to stick around long. So that's just little things that you learn along the way. So once you're happy with your confirmations in the market, yeah, man, everything will start. You'll have less panic. You won't be panicking as much. So
Jay, someone said, what time is best to capture the imbalance? 1 hour or 4 hour?
C billion.
no, imbalance is on every time frame, bro. You can have an imbalance on a 15-minute. It's still relative. You can have an imbalance on an hour. It's still relative. Yeah, it's all relative. Like every time frame. Like if you have a weekly imbalance, right? It's what, like it probably holds a bit more weight because the gap's gonna be a bit bigger. Like in terms of pip, the pip count's gonna be way bigger. But in regards to moves, I've caught imbalance on a 5-minute before and gained an entry off that. So I wouldn't say none of them like outweigh each other. Like if you can get an imbalance, you gotta understand it's just another confirmation. It's just giving yourself another reason to add to. All right, it probably might come down here. Does that make sense? Like that's the best way I could describe it. Like other than that, it's like I wouldn't say imbalance is the be all and end all, because there's been trades before where imbalance hasn't been filled. It's not a necessity for imbalance to be filled. You just want it to be filled because it gives you confirmation to say, okay, they've now done that part now, so I can now basically tick it off the bucket list or the checklist, excuse me. So it's not the be all and end all if imbalance does not get filled. Just know that. Excuse me, my drawing. Sorry. Yeah, so it's not the, like in regards to how important it is to be filled, don't always think it outweighs what price is actually showing you, because you'll be very surprised that price will do what it wants to do rather than what it has to do. And what I mean by that is imbalance, it does not need to be filled. If you go through whatever charts or pairs you like to look at, you'll understand that there's time frames or imbalances that have been left there for a very long time, still hasn't come back to it, because it's not a necessity. It's what drives the market. Price is what's driving the market, but they don't like to leave gaps. In like, just from us back testing it, they don't like to leave gaps. So if they can fill it, they will. But as you can see here, it's filled the imbalance, but it hasn't shot up like where I wanted it to. But it did have a reaction. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's a gap that need always going to be filled.
Someone said, Pastor Pip said, what are the most profitable pairs you guys as senior traders like to trade often?
Probable pairs.
Most profitable pairs.
Profitable pairs. What do you mean, like pit count? You mean like in terms of pit count? What do you mean? Like
Pastor Pips, take it away.
Yeah, it could be in terms of pit count, or it could also be in terms of
pit count. So the highest pit count I've come across is GA, Pound Aussie, Pound NZD, Euro AUD.
Yep.
If I'm talking just currencies, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you could also expand onto other things that you guys like to look at. For example, gold, as you're trading right now. I see you post silver sometimes as well.
Yeah, silver's very volatile. Like, I wouldn't recommend silver for the newcomer, if I'm honest with you. It's very, like, it's worse than gold in terms of the volatility. So it doesn't correlate with gold fully as well. Like, it doesn't move when gold moves. So if you're gonna trade a metal, I would trade gold over silver. But just because silver's volatility is a lot of people, you ain't gonna be able to handle that, you know. So overall though, you don't need that many pairs, if I'm honest with you. Like, as a newcomer, I would only look at 2-3 pairs maximum, because you need to learn those pairs. Like, if you can really master 2 pairs, you can get paid off them and just trade those. Because then if you know it in and out, you know what time it moves, you know how many pips you can gain from it, you know the best time to trade it. All these different factors, they play a part, because not all currency pairs move at the same time. They don't. Some are nighttime movers. There's a lot of factors. So you got to trade according to how you like to trade, what your checklist and what your setups are like. Trade to those strengths.
What was the second part of your question, Pastor Pips? Can't really call you Pastor. It's a bit mad. Josh. What was the second part of your question, bro?
There wasn't really a second part. I was gonna ask. Obviously, I mean, it's completely different. Obviously, this is like a long-term game in terms of trading. Realistically speaking, here, just going off of you guys' experience, how long, do you know what I mean, will this take? Essentially,
I don't know. Everyone learns at their own pace, bro. So it's very hard to say that. Everyone learns at their own, like, everyone takes in information at different levels. So it's like
speeds as well.
Yeah, it's very hard to say, oh, it's gonna take me X amount of time. Like, not everyone is gonna, number one, put the same amount of hours in. Number two, be as consistent when learning it. Like, all of these things, I don't know what everyone's lifestyle is different. So all that is gonna take an effect and play a part in it. So within 6 months, you should definitely be able to judge, where you first started to what 6 months later, and you'll realize that you have made a vast improvement. You should have definitely made a vast improvement. Like, there's obviously things you're always going to be able to tweak, like, the longer you're in the game. But majority of it comes with like live experience. You got to be in the field at the end of the day. That's the best teacher, if I'm honest with you.
And I'm not being funny, right? But with the way how we teach you guys, you included, Josh, where we give you guys tests, we make sure that you're learning, man. So, I mean, I'm not gonna expose your exam results, Josh, Pastor Pips.
You're baiting me out.
But if someone is failing in a certain area, then it enables us to be able to help you in that specific area. So, if we need to go over imbalance or mitigation or market structure 100 times, and we'll go over it 100 times, because at the end of the day, the sooner you get it and you're able to actually come back and say to me at the end of the month, this is what X, Y, and Z is, then it becomes a lot more permanent in regards to your brain. Shaq, I know you mentioned earlier what is imbalance. You still can't get over it, and I know, like, months ago we went over it. So it's just really about having, if you use us, take advantage, man. Take advantage of us. Obviously, you're Mr. International, Shaq. You're flying to Miami and you're on private jets and stuff. So I know you're not really taking the trading thing too seriously. Now, of course, all your businesses are on hold. You're like, you know what? Let me put a few millions into the trading. So I get you, but we're on call with you guys 24/7, man. So really and truly, the process is as quick as you're willing to do your homework. Do you understand? The quicker you do your homework, the quicker you're actually able to learn something. I have a student who graduated in 3 months. I have one who graduated in 7. I have one who took 6. I have one who took 5. So it just depends, man. Depends how on it you are. That's me.
Someone said, what are the top 5 news events? What are the most important?
Answer that one, Ads. That's juicy.
Oh, the most important is of the interest rate. You need to know what they're roughly going to do with the interest rate. And they make big moves. It moves the most. So that's the most volatile one that I can tell you from history of sitting up many nights, many hours waiting for and watching. Sometimes it comes at 3 a.m. Sometimes it's 3 p.m. But the most volatile one will be the interest rate, unemployment change. So when you watch the news and you hear things them saying like unemployment is down in Canada, then you might want to look to see if Canada getting weaker, because they're when they say like, oh, it's down 3%. Well, I believe that's a code to let them know down, to the market's heading down. So it's just, understanding the little news events. But again, they're all on our website. Read up on them, I advise, learn about them. And know when they're coming. If you don't use if any of you, who's sharing their screen, Jacob, is this you?
Yeah, what's up?
You click on the FX book you've got there. There's
Yeah.
a calendar. I don't know how many of you use this, but that's where we find out what news is coming. So I think tomorrow we have an unemployment rate, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it was. It's
Yep.
tonight.
So tomorrow there's an unemployment rate at 12:30. That'll be tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, just checking things like that and seeing how it moves, how it reacts with that news. Someone said, I hope that's all good for you, Kyran.
The next one after that, I'd say, is GDP. Top 3, really.
Yeah. If you check the fundamental definitions, what we've got on our website, the main ones we wrote about were the ones you kind of need to check for, because they're the most high impact news events. So every description we've got in fundamental definitions, that's why we've added those ones specifically, because those are the ones where if you understand what exactly they mean for an economy, you understand why the markets react to them. So definitely check out the fundamental definitions and take from it what you can and write it in your own terms so that you understand it. So then when you're looking for a news event in the calendar, you kind of expect that what you kind of have in your mind what exactly you're going to be, what the outcome is, what the data is actually being printed for and stuff like that. So check it out, man.
Cool. Thanks for jumping on the session, bro.
Someone said, what is the London Open?
The London Open is the opening time of the London Stock Exchange, which is 8 a.m. our time, 8 a.m. GMT, yeah?
Yeah. So that means when people, 8 a.m. is when people actually in work are trading this particular currency. That's when they all start at one time. And it's in the YouTube video, someone said. What's that? Our definitions? Maybe. Oh, if you guys go over to our YouTube channel, we do actually provide lit tips. The last one was actually really good as well as funny. So check them out, man. Check them out. Who else got questions? Let me put someone under the pressure. Pass the pips.
Yeah.
Right, hold on, because you're not the only student in here. Let me pick on someone else. Jamie. Jamie, yo app. Yeah, take that off mute, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh,
What you saying, bro? You've been really quiet.
I just been there listening, innit? Just learning and that.
You said you heard your name. You said, "Ah, shit." No, tell me, bro. What's the what would you say has been the most beneficial thing that you found throughout the mentoring?
Just the amount of information, to be honest. And it's now these times it's all proving right, to be honest. That's the main thing. Now it's getting tested, like when all this stuff is going on.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, what's your background like? Was you a trader before?
No, I had zero trading knowledge, and I've been doing it for 6 months. Obviously, some parts I still don't. I found it hard. I still do, but you go over it and that. So as we go over it, just repetition is the key. It just stays in my head.
Jeez, you saying how much pips you catch today, big man?
Quite a few, still.
Yeah. What did you catch?
You know what? US 30. Was it a catch? US 30? Is that right?
Yeah.
US 30, US 10.
Okay. US 10.
US 10.
No. US 30 and UK 100.
FTSE 100, yeah, that's calm, man. What about the oil trade?
Nah, I didn't really catch that.
Okay, that's fine.
It didn't really get sent out in that, you know.
Yeah, no, but you know, guys, Jamie's one of our finest students. He was actually on our call today. So, like I said to you earlier, we provide live sessions. Jamie was on there and he secured himself some money. So, we don't charge you guys for a lot of things, man. But
yeah, both days, yesterday and today. So yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's guys, excuse the pun, but it's really lit over here. So yeah, man, if you lot are up early, 6:45, and you want to jump on our sessions or around midday, just we'll happily facilitate that for you guys. Because at the end of the day, a lot's happening throughout the day at sporadic times, and we're just pouncing right now. So what we're like, right, is so it's three of us, me, Adam, and Jacob. Really, we're a pack of wolves, right? And we go out to hunt for ourselves, but then we also go out to hunt for the family. See what I'm saying? So not all the time we can hunt for the family. Sometimes we've got to hunt for ourselves. So when you're on these Zoom calls, you're hearing us hunting for ourselves, which enables you to be able to hunt with us. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that. Mr. Thomas, you want to jump on a 6:45 call? That's no problem. Yeah, 6:45 a.m. Just to reiterate. Yeah. Do you put it in the Discord? No, but we can put it in the Discord for you guys. That's not a problem.
Let's see who's up.
Yeah, let's see who's up. Because I tell you what, Pastor Pip said he'd be up at 6:30. I didn't hear from him until 8 o'clock. He was probably praying for the Pips, But he were up.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, to be honest, man. So yeah, I hope you guys liked, the live Q&A. We will be doing it every week, same time. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Show love, Lit Capital.
Show some love. Listen, guys, I'm gonna do a little funny thing, but yeah, man, I want some more subscribers on the channel there. Listen, everyone's in this Corona stuff. We've gone and bought a new camera. We're about to do some really funny shit, man, but we need some more love. We need some more likes. When we put out a video, even if you ain't watching the whole thing, the algorithms, how YouTube works, right? The more likes a video gets, the more other people can see the video. So if you appreciate what we're doing, just kind of replicate that, man. But if you guys have found today's call valuable, drop some twos in the chat.
Fire.
Let me see some twos.
Two.
Someone sending me privately twos. Yeah, it's lit, man. No, seriously, guys, we appreciate you. Yeah. And as long as you guys appreciate the fact that you guys are learning information, take advantage of it, man. Take advantage of it. Seriously.
The process, guys. Stick to the process. It's a profitable one in the end. I can promise you that.
Yeah, Kyran, this is going on YouTube soon, bro.
Wait. Before we end the call as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyran because he's the first graduate of mine still. So
give him a round of applause.
You know what I mean? He's doing things, man. Like the way he.
I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a mad journey, but yeah, thanks.
Yeah, all love, bro. All love, man. No, I'm glad you actually enjoyed the process. Like, you know what I mean? You actually took in everything I was saying. This guy hit me with questions like random, 24/7. Like at the end of the day, if you don't ask questions, you don't learn, and that's what it is. There's never a question too dumb. Like we're mentors at the end of the day. Like if you can't ask us a question, who are you gonna ask? So don't think that I can't ask this, I'm going to look stupid. No, you're not. Like, at the end of the day, students become masters once they learn, you feel me? So just keep asking, keep plodding away, keep, being consistent with what your markups are, and you'll get there, man. Kyran, what was that trade you caught on GU last week?
Oh, what? The 230 pip one?
230 pips?
That one.
Yeah.
And Kyran, sorry, can I butt in? Kyran, how long you been trading?
Almost 3 months. It'll be 3 months.
3 months? 3 months you're catching 230 pip moves?
Come on.
Fuck's sake.
On a major as well. It's big money, bro. It's big money.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. Like, yes, value over hype, bro. Value over hype, man. You guys tap in. If you really want to learn, just tap in with one of us, man. We're here.
Yeah, Kyran, I'm gonna put you up on our Lit Capital Instagram. Send me a photo.
I got that.
Made it, B. You've made it, yeah?
Mail me that.
200 pip club.
Yeah, so listen, Pastor Pips, you're next. Jamie, you're next. Courtney, you're next.
All of you.
Yeah, all of you are next. All of you. Bosco.
Albie, who started today.
Naomi, Mo, Mr. Thomas, Shaq. Listen, man, we're in a prime time right now, yeah? Stuff is about to get real crazy over the next 3 or 4 weeks / months. We want to be on the receiving end of these profits. And trust me, if you guys stay close, man, we're worth it. We're worth it because we're putting the time into you guys. So I hope you've appreciated everything. Hope you guys stay safe, man. If you ever get corona, don't come around me. But yeah, you lot stay safe, stay blessed, and remember, every day is money day.
Corona pics.
Guys, peace out.